Alright guys, what is going on today? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm talking about the new Boruto episode 220. So this follows manga chapter 56, 57, and 58. But every scene with Ida and Code have been removed, so there's no scenes of Ida and Code. So they use parts from 56, 57, and half of 58. In 58, they cut it off just around the time Boruto starts taking the pills. While in the actual chapter 58, you see Boruto, after he takes the pills, he's with Kawaki, Sarada, and Mitsuki, and they're doing training. But that part's not adapted yet. So right after the pills is the new tuning exams, which starts. Now with this episode particularly, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. One being Boruto's depression. So this guy hasn't slept since they came back from the Ishiki battle. Now I don't know how long that's been since they fought Ishiki, but it says Boruto hasn't been sleeping. So I'm assuming maybe 2 to 3 days, because no person would be sane after staying up for more than like 5 to 6 days at most. You know, most people would collapse after the second or third day. So him being awake, I don't know how long he's been awake for, but it's been bothering him, and he's keep having the flashbacks and ideas of him stabbing Sasuke's eye, which I remember there was a theory, and I had a theory about this back when he first stabbed it, that once he stabs Sasuke's eye, he's gonna start feeling depressed and he's gonna go down the dark road. From the looks of it, it looks like Boruto did fall down the dark path, but it looks like he found his light again. Him and Naruto have such a nice moment in this episode where they hug each other and Boruto falls asleep in Naruto's arms. That was actually really heartwarming, you know? But yeah, both of them hug and Boruto falls asleep in Naruto's arms, and that is when Amato comes. Amato comes up with the pills. What's weird here is that if you look carefully at Amato's saying, he says, isn't Boruto supposed to inherit the Byakugan? And he's like, this eye affects the Byakugan. I think they're hinting at the Jogen, that when Boruto starts taking those pills, his eye might awaken, because Boruto doesn't have a Byakugan in the anime. Well, in the manga, I'm a 50-50 on him having the Byakugan and Jogen, but in the anime, it's the Jogen. So what I think is those pills will possibly give him the Jogen or help awaken the Jogen, and it will probably give him control over it. Because his wording there is a bit weird. Like, why would he say that he's supposed to inherit the Byakugan? For Boruto, it skipped it. It went to Himawari instead, and he got the Jogen, which I believe there's some meaning behind Amato's wording there. Now, Amato mentions his daughter, and he says his daughter died 12 years ago, and Naruto's kind of surprised, but not much. But the real reason Amato came and gave the pills to Naruto is the fact that he wanted to be an official advisor, because this whole episode they kept saying they were hesitant to give Amato the advisory seat, and that's why when he was talking to Naruto, he's like, that's only part of it, I'm here. So they don't explain that, but it's off screen and it's implied, since he talks to Samira after. He says to Samir, I'm an official advisory member now. Then Boruto starts taking the pills and he feels all happy and everything. He goes to the Thunder Burger, starts having a burger, and he feels much better. And the scene I like here is when Sarada hits Boruto's forehead, because he made everybody worried. Literally everybody was worried about Boruto's well-being, and she was kind of ticked about it. She was kind of ticked that he didn't say anything, he didn't come talk to anybody, and she was upset, but remember, she hides her emotion, she doesn't show it up front. So I found the little snap on the head pretty funny, and it kind of reminds me of Sasuke doing that to Sarada and Sakura, but for him it was just a flick on the head. But yeah, in this episode we got to see his depression, we got to see his sadness, we got to see his deep feelings and how he was scared of Momoshiki reappearing. And he was right, he didn't want to hurt anybody else. You know, as he stated back in chapter 55, he's like, I don't know if I'll hurt anybody else. But it looks like him taking the pills have stopped the Otsutsuki takeover, because he just says it at the end of this episode that, you know, he's feeling much better now, and now he's finally sleeping and everything. Now I will admit there are some scenes that have been taken out since chapter 56. Now the lab scene with Sumire saying that she likes Boruto has been taken out. On top of that, they changed the whole format from chapter 56 to 58. It's all been shuffled around. Half of 56, 57, 58 have all been incorporated in this one episode, and they juggled everything around. Even when Boruto was on TV, they're all sitting in the lounge, but that was changed to the restaurant. And I think the part where Boruto tells Kawaki, he's like, let's go train, my dad doesn't have Kurama anymore, I think they changed that part out with Sasuke and Naruto on top of the Hokage office. Now what I mean by that is they mentioned that Kurama's gone and Sasuke tells Naruto to move on. Now that scene could be shot back where Boruto's sitting on the rock and Naruto approaches him and tell him he'll do whatever he can to stop him from transforming, and then they talk about not having Kurama and everything. I think those two scenes were replace Kawaki and Boruto's talk on top of the stone faces, because Boruto's supposed to tell Kawaki, he's like, let's go train now, and he feels much better. Well, in this, they expanded more over that, but I think they changed the scene up completely, and they put it with Boruto and Naruto instead, and a little bit of mix of Sasuke with him talking to Naruto on the Hokage office. So Boruto trusts Naruto 100% now, and that's why he fell asleep in his arms with no problem. Now, the biggest thing I want to talk about is Naruto's withdrawal symptoms, or his chakra illness, or whatever is going to happen to him. Now, I have a theory that whatever happened to Naruto right now, he's having symptoms of not having Kurama there, which is why when he was hugging Boruto, his arm starts tweaking and everything. Now, I think what's going to happen is they're going to do the chakra illness 2.0, because the Sasuke Retsuden novel follows that Naruto had a chakra illness. I think they're going to use Naruto's chakra illness in these new episodes to give Sarada her 3 tomo. They're going to do an arc before the series ends, maybe with Sasuke, Sarada, Boruto, and Mitsuki, that they're going to go get something for Naruto. And I think it's going to awaken her 3 tomo then. From the looks of it, Naruto having his illness and Sarada wanting to be the next Hokage, which are probably going to be 9th, I'm assuming, because of Konohamaru, he's going to be the 8th. That is, you know, if my man gets strong enough. But Sarada wanting to be Hokage, she's going to go help Naruto to find the cure for his illness. Now, Naruto does look like he has something going on with his body, and I think it's a withdrawal symptom. He probably was used to having Kurama. Since he was a baby, he had Kurama, and he was so used to it. So what I think is Naruto is having symptoms where he's now without Kurama, and there's a big gap, you know, and he's not feeling well because of it. That's why his arm starts moving, and it's probably taking a bigger toll on his body than he knows, which is why he says to Sakura last episode, he's like, what's the news with my body? But they kept it a bit on the low. So I think during or after the Chunin exams is when something happens to Naruto, and these guys are going to set out to help Naruto. And then right after they come back is when I think the series is going to end, and they're going to go into a time skip with Code finally attacking the village and all that stuff, and then boom. Because I think the time skip is near with the super stage Boruto has at the end of the year, they might announce the time skip in the manga, and the anime might follow a couple of months right after. So we'll see where that goes. I do wonder what will happen to Boruto in the next couple of episodes. I did make a video about the anime canon that was actually made like 2 days before this episode came out, and I did talk about Kawaki being a genin and all that stuff, and it actually came true. All that stuff did come true. But otherwise, this episode was pretty nice. Talked about killing Boruto and everything. Now, you know what's funny is that I remember there was a theory a while back that was posted on Twitter and everywhere that all the Kages are going to try killing Boruto, and Kawaki is basically going to do something against them, which is why he ends the Shinobi World. Since they thought Boruto was a threat, they're like, yo, you know, let's get this guy out of the village, this and that, which I think that theory might be coming true. And basically the 4 other nations go against the Leaf or do like a sneak attack or a little assassin attack on Boruto, and that causes everything to break out. Who knows? That theory might come true for all we know. Even though it sounded kind of weird when it was first announced a while back, but now when you think about it, after Gaara's talk at the Gokage Summit, it might come true. It might come true. Anyways, this is what I think. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos to come.